Okay. Well, as you remember, we discussed the beginning part about money, and we started actually the case about money, and now we're going to start with unit 5. So first of all, let me ask you a few questions and know your opinion. So how much cash do you have with you at the moment? Do you know?
Yeah, cash means in my wallet and in my bank,
Of
which
course.
I
Yeah,
can
paper money. Yeah, of
use.
course. Real money. Yeah.
Yeah, to 2000
So
dollar.
you know
Yeah,
exactly. So that's interesting. So you know. And so
yeah.
do you normally have cash with yourself or use your credit card?
Sorry.
So do you normally use cash for shopping or no? You use your credit card, debit card?
Hmm. I rarely use credit card. I used to use credit card in every transaction, but for now I I always do bank transfer.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Of
bank transfer.
course.
Yeah, we have in Vietnam we have a QR code, so I
Yeah, that's great. Of
always
course.
scan it.
Of course. You
Yeah.
can easily use your phone, of course.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And do you normally check? So first of all, your change, your, okay, let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And your bank statement and credit card bills or restaurant bills, your receipt when shopping on prices in several shops before you buy something.
No.
So none
Yeah.
of them?
Yeah.
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 That's really good because normally people do it, especially about prices. So shopping around, like, checking prices in different shops so that you can find the best one. So, but
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about your wife? Does she do?
Yeah. She the same. Yeah. She
Yeah.
I feel she sometimes I use card in grocery, but
Yeah.
my wife I think she five she uh 99% use bank transfer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rarely use cash.
of course. So how about checking bills? So for example, do you normally check your bills or for example, your bank statements or for example, check the price before you want to buy something or no?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
that's really good. Actually, it's really good for your wife because normally men do this and of course, women don't like, but that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you give money to beggars? So for example, if you're on the street and someone asks you for money, so a beggar, so do you give?
Can you explain me about the bag?
Of course, some poor people in the street, you see some poor people that ask for money. For example, they're poor, they don't have any money, so they need and they ask
Yeah.
for money.
Yeah. 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 I think I usually when I stop at the red signal, red light signal. So see, we see some people who ask for help a little bit money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
for some
course.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. How about charities? Do you give to
Yeah.
charities?
Sometimes, but a lot of charity we use we collect about the some thing in my house, for example, clothes or some old
Ah,
equipment. Yeah,
of
and
course.
and some organize organizer they take
Yeah.
them to some people who need them. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, besides, sometimes I give a little a little money for my a friend who work at the charity organize. Yeah.
Of course, that's great. So you give away your used items. So if you don't need something, of course you give it to people who need.
Yeah. A giveaway
Such
mean the take it for another people.
Yeah, of course, for
Yeah.
example, normally some organization actually do this. They,
Definitely.
yeah, of course. Yeah. And if you go for a meal with someone you don't know well, do you offer to pay the whole bill? Do you suggest dividing the bill into equal parts or share the bill? Or do you offer to pay the whole bill but expect them to pay next time? Or do you try to avoid paying anything? So which one?
Yeah. It's really hard situation.
So it depends.
Yeah. But I think all of the some I suggest dividing the bill to equal parts.
Of course.
If if I know them, or if they come with my friend, or someone have had I have know them, I think I can offer to pay the whole bill. But
Yeah.
sometimes if the first time I know them, I offer to pay the whole bill. I think it's not good, because maybe they don't want, or maybe they they not they don't want to give, or to yeah. I mean I will
Yeah, it's
pick.
better because, yeah, of course, it's better to share the bill when you don't know someone. Of course,
Yeah.
maybe actually the person doesn't feel comfortable when
Yes.
you pay actually the whole bill, so it's better to share. So, of course, so you can suggest dividing. So why
Yeah.
not? Okay, and because normally, especially some people try to avoid paying
Yeah.
anything, just find somewhere to go
Yeah.
when it's time to pay. Okay, what do you think about people who don't pay the correct amount of tax? So is this a serious crime, you think? It's morally wrong, but not a crime, so it's not a good behavior, of course. Or actually you think excellent business practice?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I'm not sure.
It's
But
really
yeah,
difficult.
but I think there is may B or C.
Yeah, of course it's not a serious crime, but because
Yeah.
it's difficult, I think it's really difficult. I don't know. I think people all around the world have the same idea about tax. They don't like. We don't
Yeah.
like to pay, but we have to. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's morally wrong, but not a crime. So I think I do agree with you. Well, but it's not a business, I think, practice because
Yeah.
in the end, you need to pay. You have to pay.
Yeah.
So just pay it in time before
Yeah.
you have to, before the government make you do it. Okay. So if you lend a colleague small amount of money and they forget to pay it back, do you say nothing? Or do you remind them that they owe you money? Or do you arrange to go for a drink with them and say you've forgotten your wallet or purse?
Mm. Yeah, I think I will do I will do it in the age. Yeah, say nothing, because it is small money. No problem. Yeah.
Oh. Great, you're generous. You're really generous. I think you're really generous.
Because I think small mean it very
Yeah, small.
a little. So
Yeah.
so may a cup of coffee on or something like that. I think it's no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, maybe. It depends, you know,
Yeah.
what mean when we say small, okay, how much we mean. So that's really important. But as you said, when it's, you know, it's about coffee or drink or something like this, so of course, no matter. But some people don't
Yeah.
ignore it, you know,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if it's really small amount. So,
Yeah.
but you should
Yeah.
be generous. Well, so do you think saving money is difficult?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So as so, you know, when we check this actually questions and your answers, I can understand that you are not a saver. You are generous and you are a spender. You
Yeah.
so that's interesting actually test, I think. And of course, it's really good quality and characteristic. Okay, well, how to say numbers. The first point and the most important point here about numbers. So, you know, when we want to read numbers, like for example, this one, we normally divide them into parts. So 1984 or 5 or 6. Okay, so we don't. So for years, we normally divide them into two parts. But if we have, for example, year, include just one figure after zeros, you say 2006. Okay, and 6 is okay. It's just in British and American, so we can 2006 is okay. Okay, but about, you know, currencies and decimals, so it's how to say them. Look, 16.5. If you have more than one figure after decimal, so you need to read them one by one. So you
Yeah.
don't say 38%, okay, 17.38 or 0.185. So we say them one by one. That's really important to know. Or for example, as you can see, when we have currencies, so first of all, before, okay, £3 15. Okay, so you don't say 315 pounds. Or for example, $7.80 or 250 euros. So, or 125, okay, this is yen. So I think it's
Yeah.
for China. I don't know.
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
Of course. So I don't know nothing about currencies. Okay. So what is the currency of China? You know?
Uh, yeah, I know in
I think
Vietnam.
something like this. I heard something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for bigger numbers, so as I told you, for decimals, that's really important to read actually not figures one by one. And for bigger numbers, okay, so like this, 3,560 or and 6. In British, they add and, but we don't, just, you know, 3,560. So again, you divide them into actually smaller parts and say them one by one. So 598,000, okay, 347. So I divide it into two small parts and say them one by one. Or here, 1,300,000, of course, and 402, or and 2 in British. So 1,000,000, 3 billion, so you know this. and $7.5 billion. So here you don't say $7 billion, 0.5. Okay,
Yeah.
so 7 because it's actually a big number. And here again, 478 million euros. So of course we don't use and, but if you use, that's okay. But actually another point that is really important. We normally, of course, I'm not talking about financial reports that we need to say exact figures, but you know, we normally, I don't know, rarely say exact figures in full. We use some adverbs like almost, about, around, approximately. So, as I told you, except for financial reports that should be really exact, accurate and exact. So we don't say. For example, when I want to say, okay, 598,347, I say it's roughly 600,000. It means about. So I try to use some adverbs to say maybe the numbers approximately or figures approximately, not exactly. So let's do this one together. Just first of all, let's talk about actually the adverbs that you can use. That's really important to know them. Okay. Well, let me write it. Approximately. Okay. And we have roughly, about, nearly. So we can use them. And we use these adverbs like approximately, about, nearly, and roughly. That they are most usually used. So we normally use them to modify measurements or quantities. Okay, so just you need to know that approximately is a bit formal. Okay, so in formal language, we normally use approximately. In casual, informal situation, roughly, about, nearly. But approximately is also really good. But the first one, the difference between, you know, there is a difference between approximately and nearly. They are a bit different. So we use, of course, you can use nearly and approximately to describe measurements, you know, but nearly usually means it is less. So when we say nearly, it's less. But when we say approximately, okay, it can be a little less or a little more. So maybe it's a little more, but nearly not more, just less. Okay, so this is difference between approximately and nearly. And for example, as I told you now about approximately and about. So about and around, both of them often replace the more formal approximately. As I told you, it's a bit formal. But you know, approximately, as I told you, it suggests more careful calculation. So approximately is more careful. But you know, when we say around or about, okay, it's okay. For example, I can say, I waited about 30 minutes for the bus. It's not really actually careful or exact. So say just about, okay? So you can say roughly, that is that, and they are the same. Roughly means approximately. So you can use all them, okay? Well, and now let's use them. So, okay, well, for example, here, Let me find something, or let me write on the board so that we can practice it, and then we will move on book. So, for example, I want to say this word. Okay. Or okay. How do you say these words, these figures?
Yeah, because I see in your screen share. Yeah.
Huh.
I think you should to make another example, so I will do it in
Okay.
this format. Yeah.
So you can see. So what can you see in my screen?
Yeah, the book
Yeah.
which which
Here.
yeah.
Of course. Oh, we have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I want you to use actually roughly, approximately, not say the exact word.
Yeah.
So for example, like of course I know this one, so we have 500, but I want you to use these adverbs to say them. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I don't have it on book, yeah. So for example, this one, instead of saying,
Yeah. It's the first one is it is approximate 500.
no, it's not.
500,000.
Oh, it's more than 500. No, thousand. It's more. Let me say something. We use approximately, roughly, about, nearly when the figure is close. For example, let's see if this number, okay, is close to 500,000
Yeah.
or 600,000. Which one? So as you can see, it's 598. So it's close to 600. So we choose this one. We round it to 600,000. Okay. So you can say it's roughly.
Yeah. Can I use nearly?
Of course you can use. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, of course. But when you say nearly, we can say that nearly, yeah, you can say, because it's close, so it's a bit less, so you can use roughly or nearly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use. And how about the second one? So it's
1 million.
okay.
1
No,
million.
there is a big difference with 1 million.
Yeah.
So
1 million three one 1,300,000.
Of course, it's close to, so it can be
Yeah.
yeah, 1 million. And the next one,
The next one is nearly $500.
yeah, of course, that's great. Okay, so very good. Well, so as you can see, we can easily use these adverbs because we don't need to say the exact number, for example, when talking, okay, in informal, especially situation. So, but there are some small differences between these actually adverbs. For example, when we say near, means nearly is slightly, not different to roughly and about. So because when we say nearly means almost, not quite.
Yeah.
So, for example, when we want to say almost or not quite, we say nearly. But, roughly, for example, I say, if I spend 1/3 of my salary on the rent, it means that I spend just under 1/3. If I say roughly or about, for example, it's less than 1/3. Get it? It's a bit less than 1/3. Get it?
Yeah.
So maybe a big difference, but a small difference, but you can use all them. Okay. Well, and now just let me say something about this. For example, like this one. How do you say this? How do you read this figure?
About it's about 400 million.
Yeah. Of course, it's about, no, it's not about 400. So and now here, just, I want you to read it exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Four
400
million.
400 million 3,000.
Yeah.
3,000 for 3,200.
Yeah, of course. So just divide it into 3 parts. In British, you can use and 400 million and 300,000 and 200, but you can also say 400 million, 300,000, 200. So you can say this way. Okay. And this one, for example. How to read this one, or for example, I don't know, this one.
1,800.
Yeah. So you,
900. Yeah.
yeah. So, but you can read them like 1900, 1800. So you can say them this way. So when actually you have especially, for example, you have the figure that ends in 2 zeros, and before that you have 2 figures, you can easily say 1900, 2100, 1800, 1200. Okay. Well, and now, so let's see what we have. Okay, so correct any incorrect information. So listen and check your answers. So let's read. Student, turn to page 144 and read the text aloud to, okay, student B, listen to student A while reading. Okay, so it's something just we need to ignore the mistakes when reading, so it's okay. Well, okay, for example, this one is, can you read it?
570 million dollar.
Yeah, 78 million, of course, very good. And for example, this one.
10,000. Oh, it's a new situation because it more than 1,000 and it had a dot.
So here, of course, just, first before decimal, after that, you can read after decimal. So it's called decimal. Okay, we have decimal here. So the before it is?
Yeah, I think it is 10,003 64 $64.
Okay, so just dollar, no, here you don't need to. So just before, just read the figure before decimal, and after that, yeah. So
which
let's
number?
do something. Let's do something. Let's listen. Okay, just listen once. It's not bad. And then, because it's really easy, just, it's a bit needs more practice. Well, just you know, let me say something. When you have decimals like this figure, okay, you don't need to read before decimal one by one, but after the after decimal should be read one by one. Okay, so you can read the before decimal like a normal number and point or dot, and after that you have 99. Okay, now let's do something. Let's listen how it's read. Okay, it's 5 1. Let's listen.
Unit 5, Money. Recording 5.1.
Yahoo has strengthened its European presence with a €475 million acquisition, that's a $578 million acquisition of Kelku, the French-based online shopping service. The European online retail market is forecast to grow to €107 billion in the next 3 years. The Nikkei 225 average climbed 0.7% to 11,364.99, while the Topix index rose 1.2% to 1,145.95. Banking shares benefited most, Mizuho jumping 5.6% to 437,000 yen, SMFG rising 4.7% to 752,000 yen, MTFG gaining 7.9% to close at 1,050,000 yen, and UFJ up 4.2% to 646,000 yen.
Okay, so as you heard, so just, you know, the only point about this figure, and as I told you, just you do exactly the same that you do for normal figures, but after decimal, you separate and divide them and read one by one. So, yeah. Okay. Well, and now, of course, you know, the listening was a bit different because figure, for example, this one, he said 15, but we have 19 here. Okay. Well, and now let's match the different, just, you know, are there any questions related to this part, figures?
No.
Okay, no. Good. Well, okay. And match the definitions 1 to 6 with the financial terms. Okay, so let's do this one together. So as you can see, the first one, money owed by one person or organization to another person or organization is debt. And now let's check the second one. Okay, so let's see. Okay, a period of time when business activity decreases because the economy is doing badly.
Can you explain me about the recession?
You know, especially, yeah, that is recession. A period of time when business activity decreases because the economy is doing, it's something like when there is no change. You know, maybe businesses actually make no profit because actually, you know, economy, you know, generally, totally is doing badly. So we say that it's recession, okay? And number 3, difference between the selling price of a product and the cost of producing it.
Gross margin.
Of course, yes. A place where company shares are bought and sold.
Stock market. Stock market.
Of course. And money which people or organization put into a business to make a profit.
Investment.
Yeah. Do you believe in investments? Do you normally invest in something, or have you ever invested in something and you could make profit, of course?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can you add me add again? Say it
Yeah,
again.
of course. I ask you if you have done this, if you have ever invested in something maybe and you could make profit.
Yeah, I have done a lot of not lot, but I have done about the three investment, and I more of them failed. Yeah, only one a small business
Yeah.
which helped me to uh, get get profit.
Of course. It's a bit difficult,
So
I
I
think.
think it, yeah,
Yeah.
really difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I don't know, sometimes we say it's not luck or chance,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes, people do it and I don't know, they make money and you do it and you can't. I don't know why. It's a bit different, challenging, I think. And the last one, equal parts into which the capital or ownership of a company is divided.
Shares.
Yeah, of course, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Share similar with shareholder.
No, shareholder. Okay, you are
Yeah.
saying shareholder is holder. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
share is share. Okay, so
Yeah.
shareholder, when you say, actually you discuss a person, holder. Okay, or
Yeah.
company maybe. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so match the sentence wholes. Okay, let's do this one. For example, earnings per share are a company's profits divided by the number of its shares. So this is the first one. And a forecast is, so a forecast, something that you predict, like, you guess, you
Yeah.
predict. So
Yeah. I often hear about forecast words when I listen about the weather every day.
of course, because it's prediction. And here for
Yeah.
business, actually, it's a description of what is likely to happen in the future. So
Yeah.
we can, okay.
Yeah.
And this one is not really good. Bankruptcy, that is noun, and bankrupt is adjective. So is
Yeah. I yeah.
when a person or organization is unable to pay their debt.
Yeah.
So it's bankruptcy. And
Yeah.
okay, the next one. It comes from divide, so you can easily match it. Of course, a profit, yeah, of course, part of the profits of a company paid to the owners of shares.
Yeah.
And pre-tax profits are?
The money which businesses receive from selling goods or services.
Oh, no, we need to pay it. We need to pay it. Yeah, of course. It's like,
Yeah. It is
pre-tax
revenue.
profits.
Yeah.
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 The money a business makes before payment to the government. So it's something like before payment. Yeah. Well, so it's pre-tax, and revenues are, as you said here, the money which businesses receive from selling goods or services. Okay, so we need to actually memorize the definition of this word, because they're really words and important words and phrases that we normally hear and use in business language. So that's really important too. Maybe a different form of maybe noun, maybe adjective. So it depends. Okay, now let's practice. We're going to complete this report with actually the term from exercise A and B. So let's do this one together. Okay? Could you please?
Yeah, I have a question
Of course.
about the home market, similar with house market.
About home market? Oh, no. Okay. House market, you said similar to what?
Home
Okay, yeah. Similar to what you said?
house. I think
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know
something
that
like
word.
actually an area. So home market actually can be something somewhere like an area in which headquarters of a company are
Oh,
located. So we say home
yeah,
market, it's home. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
just let
great.
me say something. This area can be a country. For example, home market can be a country or maybe a city or a state. So maybe different, but actually a region in which the headquarters are located.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's do this
Mm.
one together now. So in our home markets, it has been another excellent year.
Forecast.
Yeah, are up by, okay, so you
Two
said
is
of
forecast.
course, forecast, yeah, for the next quarter is equally good. And profits from abroad are down, decrease because of?
Can you try it? Yeah. Recession.
Of course, recession, of course, very good. Yeah. And however, our performance overall has been good and have increased what?
Revenue.
No. No. Okay, let's see what we have. What else we have? Okay,
Grow.
increase our performance. Okay, and we normally actually when we say something increased, we talk about shares. Okay, so we can say our earnings per share. So our shares have increased to 26, okay, 0.4. So shares and the, okay,
Yeah.
and
For 6.
for,
Oh,
yeah, for 5 and the,
right. Mm. Um, okay,
and
can you
of course
slide up?
scroll. You can find it here. You
Yeah. Earning per share.
earning, but we use that for number 4 as I told you. So and the earnings per share have increased to, and there will be increased to 4.3 per share. What? Maybe it's a part of profit of a company paid to the owners of shares
Yeah.
because so
Uh, yeah.
dividend, so
Mm.
as I told you, so it's come from divide, so just when we have and you need to change a bit
Mm.
actually in pronunciation. So dividend, okay,
Mm.
will be increased because share. So when earnings per share actually increase, of course, the actually the part that is given to the owners of shares will be increased. So we can say dividend. Okay, and now we plan to issue new what? In order to finance expansion in Asia. So maybe here.
Mm. Investment.
Of course, investments, of course. So we plan to issue new investments and We also plan to increase our in plant and equipment before entering the Chinese market. So we normally increase our, if I can find it. I think we need to make a bit change here because I can't find exactly the same word that is good to be used here. So because, you know, we increase our profits.
Yeah.
So I think, but we don't have profit here, but I think profit is a good one. In plant and equipment before. So first increase our profit and then enter another market.
Gross margin.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Gross margin for 7.
Okay, for 7, no, it's not. So if I change it, if I were you, I could, because you know, when I read it to here, up to here, I have different alternatives. So I can say that if I use, for example, use it investment, of course you can use, but if I change it here, if we increase our investments, because you know, in different fields, so, and if we plan to issue new shares, for example, yeah, for number 6, then we can actually increase our profits. Do you agree?
Yes.
So
yeah,
I think it's better. So I think it's better. So sometimes we can have more than one alternative, but because of this, we normally say that read to the end of paragraph, then decide whether which one can be the best. So I think if I were you, I would say, so for number 6, I would say shares. Oh, let me change the color. Okay, and we plan to increase our, okay, what, investment, because, you know, after that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so we are particularly pleased with our performance in France and Germany, where what have increased? Now profits. Have increased. Because of this, of course, we're happy. So as a result, using a new distributor or cost will giving us, now let's find, I think you can find it. No, I think better word, we have better word.
Market, stock market.
No. So let's read it again, maybe here. Yeah. As a result, using a new distributor, our costs fell, giving us a 40% on our main product line. So what do you think about gross margin? Do you remember the meaning of gross margin? So do you remember? Gross margin, the difference between the selling price of a product and the cost of. So when, let's read it. So when actually, as you can see, our cost fell, giving us a gross margin, a difference of 40%, our main product line. So we can produce, okay, cheaper, and we can sell it more expensive with actually, so there is a big, the 40% is a big difference between actually the cost of producing and the cost of, for example, the profit that you make when selling. So gross margin of 40% of our main product line, we will use 10. We will use any extra cash to reduce the level of our
debt.
Of course.
Yeah.
So because we want to, yeah, we want to reduce the level of our debt, yeah, of course. And our performance in Italy should improve significantly following the, so of our biggest competitor. So one of competitor, we can say bankrupted. So, but here we need a noun. So when there is no competitor, of course, you can improve your performance. So which one? I don't have it here. No, recession is actually something related to the market, but one of competitors, for example, another company that is really important company, actually, unfortunately, actually was unable to pay their debt, so stopped working. So, what do you think about this one? Look, our performance in Italy should improve significantly following the bankruptcy of our biggest competitor. So we can say that one of our biggest competitor is out of the field. So of course we have more chance because of bankruptcy. So, however, we should not become too satisfied with our share price as economic conditions remain uncertain and now, okay, and no, we'll continue to reflect this.
Stock market.
No. So because, you know, you're talking about, look, we should not become too satisfied with our share price as economic conditions remain uncertain and what will continue to reflect this. Share prices will not rise in short term. So what you need to use maybe the money that actually business receives from selling goods. So of course, when the market is not certain. So of course, revenues. So here you can say, let's put it, so I say we should not become too satisfied with our share price as economic condition remains uncertain and the revenues will continue to reflect this. So of course, when it's not uncertain, we don't have a good economical situation and condition, of course, our revenues may be decreased so that it reflects share prices. So
yeah.
Well, so I think this part maybe was a bit confused, but it's okay. It's normal. This is the first time. So now you have the answers. Okay. I want you to read it again with actually answers and try to compare. As I told you, sometimes you can have more than one alternative, but you need to choose the best one according to maybe both of them make sense. But which one is the best choice? Okay, now I think if you read it again, so if you want, I can, do you need me to write the answers or no? It was clear.
Yeah.
Do you want me to write the answers in chat box for you or no? Okay, so
can you write in the book so I will
of course. So I can do something. After class, I will write it in, I fill in the blanks and actually send you a screenshot of it so that you can have the answers. Okay, very good. Well, so thank you. It's time to go. Is there any questions? So are there any questions related to the sport?
No, I don't.
Okay, so thank you. So again,
Yeah, thank you and goodbye.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Have a
see you
good
next time.
working day and goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.